in touch with anybody from college.
Yes, can you give me the number?
Hello everyone, welcome to episode 3 of essentially my journey into Mounjaro. I wanted to use this episode to go into more of the details about how I've got into the situation I have, and maybe that might explain a few things as to why I feel the need to do what I have done or what I'm going to do. I have a weight problem, and it's a weight problem that I've had for most of my life. I can remember being a child, the thing is I was always taller than everybody else, and I was generally stature-wise bigger than the other children anyways. Come from a big family, big, tall, broad and whatnot, but also overweight as well. And so I would naturally stand out in that respect anyways. The household that I grew up in, food was seen as a comfort. We didn't have a lot of things. We had what we needed, but we certainly weren't, we didn't have the money for things. And so almost food kind of became the comfort. And this is where I've recognised that, the comfort eating that I do has come from. And I don't know about you. I mean, if you're watching this and you find yourself in the same position, it's like if you get your high stress situations, and whether it's a good thing, you celebrate it and you celebrate it with food, or if you're really nervous about something and you eat because you're nervous, or you're worried, or you're really upset, or you're angry or something, the brain then has been sort of fused into this position of food. And it's something that was instilled as a child through my family, because that's how they dealt with it as well. And so naturally, by osmosis, by being in that environment, I was in that position as well. And I went through childhood with various illnesses, operations, and so there was a lot of worry in the household, and and I think the food sort of was, as a result of that worry, was ever present. It was encouraged that you ate all your food as well, so you'd be appreciative of the fact that we didn't have a lot of money, so therefore eat your food. And it just went on, and it went into my teenage years, and then everyone knows teenage years come with its own stress because of puberty and because of school and exams and everything. And so that comfort was always needed there. Moving into then university, being away from home for the first time, the worries, the stress, the anguish with that, food, the easy way out. And then into the adult life with all the challenges that creates. And so that was food again. I've not been a drug user. I've not smoked. I have drunk. I mean, there was a time where I was binge drinking, but I don't think there's many people, especially in their early 20s or such, when they would say the same thing. But food has always been the vice, and it's continued. And I would go through these periods where I would have a diet, and then it would go down my weight, sort of start eating more healthily. Then some kind of event would happen, and I would find myself just piling on the pounds again. I think the time that I lost the most weight, and I was getting to a point which, looking back, I should have been happy with that weight. At the time, I wasn't, but thinking back, I should have said, right, this is what I need to do. I'm here where I need to be now. Let's continue with this. But then I had to have an operation, and I was essentially bedbound for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks even. And you're not moving, you're eating, you feel bad, so therefore you eat. And it was just over a matter of time, then the weight came back on plus some. And I'm sick of that because I was so able to do more things and I was so much more confident in myself. And I got married, tried various times during that to try and lose weight, then had our 2 children, especially when the first was, when we was told that, you know, we were expecting the first. I said to myself, I need to lose weight because I want to be healthy for when baby's here and I'm going to be able to do things, and it just never happened. And I've tried and I've tried and I've tried and I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of being like this. This is the heaviest I've ever been. This is the most ill I've ever felt. Just to let you know, at the moment, I currently have recently been diagnosed with psoriatic arthritis. So the weight is putting pressure on that as well. I mean, it would be there regardless of the weight, but the weight isn't helping. I've got a hernia, which is not being helped by the weight. And chances are if they wanted to do something about it, they probably wouldn't be able to do it because of my weight. So they would ask for me to lose weight for that. I just feel so sluggish and in pain and old. I think the thing is, you know, anyone who's young who's watching this will think, well, you're 40. Well, that's not old, okay? And I see other people who are the same age as me, or if not older, who are able to do this, that, and the other, and I just feel restricted. And I feel self-conscious, and I feel... I just feel useless, okay? And that's not a nice feeling. I don't feel like I feel like I'm more of a drain than I am a provider. I work full time. I do the best I can, but I realise that I'm limiting myself, and that's not fair because of food. Okay. The problem is that, well, it's not the problem. The last time that I was successful with losing weight, I was very busy with my YouTube channel back in 2007. And I think what I need is the combination of not feeling the hunger, which is what this medication is meant to be doing, combined with keeping busy and keeping mentally busy. And I think YouTube was doing that for me before. So I was making videos and I was checking comments and I was doing this, that, and the other. And I think I need that distraction as well, whilst I'll get myself to a position where I probably won't need it anymore, that I'm just okay with living a certain way. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that using this channel and being able to document myself and then working with the medication as well, that this is going to work. And I'm getting to the point where I'm feeling like it has to work, because I'm getting more and more things wrong with me. I'm getting more and more pains than I never used to. I then feel like I don't want to do anything, or if I do, it's half-assed, basically. And I'm done. I've had enough. My children are very young still. I don't want to be the dad who can't do anything. I want to be able to do things with them. I want to be able to go on things like going to the theme park and going on a ride with them. At the moment, I wouldn't be able to. Or just anything. It's not until, if you've not been in this situation where you've been overweight or morbidly obese, there's no beating about the bush, I'm morbidly obese. You don't realise how many things that you take for granted, that if you was my size, it becomes an issue. Okay. I'm a big person anyway, so I mean, although I'm not basketball, I'm not like, you know, enormous, so I'm 6'3". Okay. Even if I was small weight, I'm still broad, I'm still big built, as they say. But but then to have this on top makes me stand out even more. And it is horrible because in a way, I always feel like I want to hide. And yet here I am sort of above everybody else and as big as I am. And there's no missing me. And I've had enough of that. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the sly comments that people will make because it's, it'll be, oh, it's Big Chris. Well, I don't want to be Big Chris. I just want to be Chris. I'm hoping that sort of makes sense. So like, well, obviously, you would need this size and so on. Well, thanks. Yeah, okay. I'm fully aware of what I've got, and I don't want to be in that position anymore. I don't want to be just having these sly comments or anything. And oh, you're a big lad, aren't you? Oh no, I didn't notice. Thank you for telling me. I didn't notice. And this has got to work. Because I do fear about my health, and I fear that something's going to happen, and my other half is sick to death of worrying about me, worrying that I'm going to have a heart attack. Same as my parents, they're worried. They think I'm going to essentially just drop dead, which could happen. And I've tried to sort of beat it off that that ain't going to happen. But the more that I'm starting to feel unwell in myself, the more I'm like, this could happen. And then what about my kids? I mean, they live with their mum. Their mum and myself are not together anymore. Thank Christ. But they love their dad, and I love them, and I don't want to die. Not for something that I could change. So that's why I'm documenting this, and I'm going through it, and I realise I'm not going to get very many views with this, and I'm not going to get much communication with people. I'm very aware of that, but this is something that I'm doing for me, and I want to document it, and I want to, if I'm having those times where I'm thinking that I can watch this and hopefully in time see where I've come. And where the journey I've made, and realise that this has been worth it, and that's why I'm doing this. So, I mean, so much the same as everybody says. Look, if you do want to subscribe, okay. If you do want to like this video, if you do want to comment, by all means, okay. This is going to be something that I need to do for myself, for me. So that's why I'm putting it on here. I'm making it official. I'm not just saying it to myself. I'm putting it out there. This is me. This is what I'm doing. And again, not expecting the views, but yeah. But if you want to see how I get on and my journey, I'm going to be very upfront. I'm going to be very blunt about everything. Then subscribe and just and send a message. If you feel like you're going through the same thing, then let me know. Maybe we can support each other. It's a difficult. It's the times when you just hear, well, why don't you just eat less? Well, why don't people just stop taking drugs? Why do people just not just stop drinking if that's a problem? Yet people don't say that to those kind of people, and if they do, they're ignorant. But the thing is with food, it's everywhere. Okay, you go into any store, there's food. You go anywhere where people are, there's going to be restaurants, there's going to be convenience stores, there's going to be this. You have to eat, and so in the time of financial difficulty, as a lot of people will say, the cost of food is ridiculous, and we're in a position where food that's awful for you, that's crap, tends to be a lot cheaper than healthy food. And I think that's where a lot of people are struggling. It's like, well, I want to eat this, but I can't afford to eat this, so I have to have that instead. But I'm just going to have to do my best with it, and just see where I go. But anyways, folks, thank you ever so much for, if you've got this far, then I'm sorry. And I do apologise about my voice. I know I've got a monotone voice. I know it's not the most interesting, but I'm genuine, okay? And I'm really just going to show you what I'm doing, what I found out, how it's going. I mean, it's coming up to, what's today's date? The 22nd, 23rd, 22nd, sorry. It's about a week or so, or just a week and a half before the end of the month when I'm then going to apply. I may well put up another video between then and the end of the month, but I'm definitely going to put up a video of me applying for this Mounjaro just to see how it goes. But yeah, in the meantime, thank you ever so much. God bless you all. And yeah, keep on keeping on. Thank you ever so much. Take care.